Hi, the portion of the week, Vayechi. It's the end of the divine book Genesis, Bereshit. And the end of this book is trying to tell you that within your exile, within your darkness, within your frictions, within your daily life scenarios, especially when you're being criticized or just things went wrong, not according to our expectations, then everything feels like kind of anarchy, like frustration, like despair, like this life. The end of the book of Genesis telling you when it's the beginning of the exile of Egypt, when the all sons of Israel are going down into the exile. Why? Because Yaakov the Tzaddik is dying, and that's when the exile started. What the name of the portion? And the name, it's the essence, Vayechi. Lived. I'll tell you honestly, I don't know if I pronounce it right, but it's L-I-V-E-T-H. Vayechi. Vitality. Generate yourself. Inspire yourself. Bring yourself out of this swamp, out of this friction, out of this darkness, out of this feeling that I'm, useless, not worth something, whatever. Bring yourself out by first saying the word Vayechi. And let's look into the portion of the week. In this portion, Yosef is bringing his two children, Menashe and Ephraim, to be blessed by Yaakov. Then Yaakov is calling all the tribes, and he's trying to tell them when this bad movie, this reality, this exile is going to finish. But then, it wasn't allowed. Shechina, the divine voice, left him, and he couldn't do it. But that was his intention. And then he's blessing the tribes. He's blessing you. You're one of the tribes with attributes, with qualities. And then the whole of Egypt and all of the tribes and all the acquaintance of Yosef, it was a big funeral, and everyone is carrying and escorting, trying to carry and to escort the coffin of Yaakov back where to? To Me'arat HaMachpelah, to Hebron. Yaakov is talking to Yosef and he's telling him, please, do not revenge. Do not feel bad. I didn't bury your mother, Rachel, at Eretz Israel. I know that maybe something within you, there's a certain friction. Please, it wasn't according to the divine plan. The divine plan wanted it to be in a different way. There will be time when the sons of Israel will be exiled out of Jerusalem, out of the country, and they will visit and they will go through the grave of your mother. And thanks to that they will visit the grave of your mother, they will return back to Israel. And Yosef is promising his father that he will bury him in Me'arat HaMachpelah, and that's how the end of the portion finished by the death of Yaakov, and the people of Israel like wearing amazing, tremendous prosperity, and they are like brought lots of children, and the country, like the nation, is expanding. And then we're going to start the book of Shemot. Ele Shemot Bnei Israel, starting by naming the name one by one who was in Egypt. Let's see what we can learn in this portion in order to bring vitality and to be alive in our scenarios and not to sink down. In the story of taking the coffin of Yaakov towards Me'arat HaMachpelah, to Hebron, to the Holy Land, it says, Vayis'u oto banav. His sons carried him, but there are only 10 tribes. There were 2 tribes that didn't carry their father, their coffin, in this journey. Yosef and Levi. Why Yosef and Levi didn't carry their father? It says that Yosef is a king. And there's a thing that king do not do. Or in a different way we'll say it, that there's things that a king do not dwell with. King do not dwell with certain things. Levi, why he couldn't? Because Levi was supposed to work in the temple, in the Mikdash, with Aron HaBrit, the Holy Covenant, so he couldn't carry the coffin because of the Tumah, the energy of the dead people. So that's why they didn't. But they had their messengers. And a messenger of a person is like the person himself. Meaning, when you're sending a messenger to do a certain quest, he's becoming the person that representing you. He is like you. The two sons of Yosef, Menashe and Ephraim, are instead of Yosef and Levi. Here I want to direct our consciousness. In order to elevate out of your scenarios, remember first, Vayechi, say the word. Second, remember, you're a king, you're a son of a king, you're a prince, you're a princess, and there's certain things that princesses and princes do not dwell with. They wouldn't get into certain low things. Think yourself, visualize yourself. Your self-image is, I'm a princess, and a princess do not behave in this way. It's better to see a sad princess or a happy princess. A prince, I'm not going so down, so low within my scenarios and events of relationships because I respect myself. And there's things that a king do not do. Yosef, you are called by the name of Yosef, and we learned that in the last portion, Vayigash. Look at that portion. That you got certain quality. All the sons of Israel are named by the name of Yosef. So remember, first, Vayechi. Decide. Your challenge is to elevate. How? First, I'm a king, I'm a prince, a princess. Is it suits me to go into this scenario? Am I supposed to dwell with this event right now? Or it's better to keep myself out, or just to let go of it? Just to let go. Do not let it come into you. And then we're learning out of Yosef that is a king. And really, in the tribes, when we seeing who was married to become the king, not Reuben, the firstborn, but Judah. Why? Because Judah is showing qualities of a king. What is a quality of a real king? What is a good king? A good king is the one that identifies, is compassionate to his fellow being. He's helping his fellow being. He helped Joseph when he was in the dungeon, in the boar. He tried to call him, and he told him, that he tried to help him. Second, he helped as well Tamar. Tamar, he was righteous with her. She was supposed to be burned, and he didn't burn her. So, meaning Judah is showing like, Judah is showing the quality of a real king. The quality of a real king is to help another person. When you're feeling down, allow yourself to help someone. Come out of yourself. Try to give a hand. See if you can do good. Do a good deed. When you're doing a good deed to a fellow being, to another princess or a prince, then God above, seeing how you're trying, even though you're feeling low, you're trying to do good, then the Creator is trying to elevate you, to take you out of your space. Let's go further with this talk of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Lubavitcher Rebbe is asking why actually Levi couldn't take the coffin. Why? He's just like, he's supposed to work in the temple, but still it's only his sons. Why he couldn't do it? Because Levi committed himself to Torah. Levi couldn't take the coffin because he was due to deal with Torah. And a person that deals with Torah is not supposed to deal with things with wrong energy like the dead. He needs to maintain his purity. It's maintaining his field. And especially we see that as well with Moses, because Moses was out of the Levites, but he was like purifying the dead and like working with it. So why he couldn't do it? So basically we have to say that the fact that Yosef and Levi is not a part of taking the coffin to Me'arat HaMachpelah, meaning that there's something in their essence that they cannot participate in this action. About Yosef, it says, about Yosef, that Yosef, as long as he was there, the burden of Egypt was not on the sons of Israel. Why? Because Egypt do not control Yosef. Yosef is controlling Egypt. Our frequencies, our frictions, the frequencies of our ego. Remember that you have the power to overcome your ego because you're a king, you're a prince, and you have this ability. Just say it to yourself and be with a self-confidence within kind of a certain like inner strength that you can come above it. Second, the exile of Egypt started only when the Levi is dying. After Levi is died, then the exile started. Why? Because they dealt with the Torah. They were learning the Torah. It's telling you here, when the Torah is the divine wisdom. When you're feeling yourself in friction, in a bad mood, open a book. Try to dwell with something that will take you out of yourself, something that will bring light. And when you're learning the divine wisdom, you're filling yourself with light. Then you can live. Then you can bring back your vitality. You can be alive in your scenario and don't lose time like being like going down, feeling bad in them. So in the end, we're seeing that Yosef and Levi are above exile. Exile do not relate to them, and we have the power, their qualities and attributes. By first, remind yourself, Vayechi, I want to be alive in this scenario. I don't want to die out of this scenario. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go with this criticism that I received. I want to feel good. Second, remember, you're a king. How a king behave. There's certain things that don't allow yourself to dwell. It's not of your, you do not respect yourself when you're going down into certain scenarios. Respect that you are. Just allow yourself to believe that you are the son of the Creator. You're a prince, little princesses and princes. Third, a real king help, doing merit to the other person, doing him a favor by thought, by word, by speech, by an action. Try to do good even if you feel bad, and see slowly how your moods are changing. And the last, we can learn out of Menashe and Ephraim. Menashe and Ephraim, they're the one that carried the coffin. So if they carried the coffin, there is something in Menashe and Ephraim. They were the messengers of Yosef. And messengers of Yosef as the messenger of the king, Yosef. And a messenger of a person, he's like him. You need to remember that you are the messenger of the Creator himself. And shlucho shel Adam kmoto. Adam is the Creator, it says in the scriptures. So if you're the messenger of the Creator, you need just to allow yourself to feel that and to reveal those powers. You can overcome everything. It's just the way you think with yourself, the way you communicate with yourself. Remember that you are the messenger of the King, of the Creator. That will help you a lot to elevate yourself from certain places. But from the names of Menashe and Ephraim, we're learning that about Menashe, it says why its name is Menashe, because it says, the verse is saying, Nashani Elokim et Beit Avi. Why Yosef is calling his son Menashe? Because he couldn't be with his father learning Torah. This desire to be with holiness. And with Ephraim, it says, Hefrani Elokim be'eretz oni. God took care of my prosperity in a land of poverty. So meaning, this quality of Ephraim, meaning that Ephraim, even though he was in Egypt, he wasn't overwhelmed or he wasn't excited from what happening in the exile. And now let's break it down in few words. When you're thinking Menashe, you thinking at the power of Menashe, it's your inner belief in the good, in the holiness. When you're getting into a scenario, draw your consciousness, your awareness to this desire that you want it to become good. You want that this scenario will be better, that it will become positive. This is your inner desire, that things will be like more in a brotherhood way, more in peace, more in unity. Reveal this urge, reveal this inner desire, this passion for good within you. Think about it. See what will come out, what will happen with you. You will try, it will give you a force to come, to elevate. Second, with Ephraim, what Ephraim did, he didn't get excited of certain scenarios that happening with these exiles. With every scenario that happened, he tried to fix it. Meaning, like when you're making a soup and the soup is not good, so you're adding a bit of salt, a bit of cumin, maybe a bit of this kind of sprouts, the root of these sprouts, in order to bring the taste up of the soup. Same with every scenario you're getting into and you're feeling like, oh, that's a bad soup, what happened here? Don't spend time on the negativity of what happened. See what you can add if needed to be added, because sometimes you need to be a king. Don't get into it. Don't dwell with it. But if there's something that you need to do, it's like to add something. What can I do in order to correct that place, in order to refine this place within me or with a scenario outside? And this is the power that we're receiving from Menashe and Ephraim. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe is saying, when you have this passion for the good, for holiness, for things to be in unity, in brotherhood, that will help you when you believe in the good. And second, when you're not being excited out of the difficulties of these exiles, of this exile. We all going through it. We had many exiles. But don't get excited out of it. Stay concentrated and focus in what you need to do. You need to add some spices right now so it will become better. All the best. See you in the next book, Exodus, in the next portion, Shmot.